Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. This video, unfortunately, is what home ownership is all about. And what I mean by that is inevitably things are gonna break when you own a home. And even though we don't live in the home, things have been on and running for a while now. So ultimately things are starting to go wrong, which they shouldn't. But yeah, we gotta do some fixing today on some items. So item number one is our main garage door here. It has decided to break. And I believe it's something to do with obviously the genie up there. I can't believe just looking at that thing can open this entire door. I mean, this door probably weighs a good 400, 500, 600 pounds, and I'm not even joking, which is why you can see up there, those garage door springs are like industrial size. I mean, they're probably 6 inches in diameter, and your normal garage door opener springs are probably only maybe 2.5. So they're insanely big and powerful, which you can actually lift this door by yourself if you give a little bit of a grunt and give it to push up, because the weight tension is being taken off by those springs. The single door over there has one of those springs, while the main door has 2 of them. But for whatever reason, the genie has stopped working. It makes a little bit of a motor sound for about a half a second, and it doesn't do anything. But we need to have precision garage doors back over here to look at this anyway, because there's some annoying things that have been going wrong with them anyway, and it's basically either on me to do the service or just something that they have to look at. So problem number one on this garage door over here, it always makes this sound, which I think is a safety feature. They told me it's a safety feature, but it never has done this sound or this noise on the main garage door. It has only done this on the single garage door. I don't know if that's normal or not, but they said it's like testing it for something to make sure like nothing's below, or to test it to make sure it's in operation. But it is so loud and annoying, and to have an expensive garage door system, which I think both of these doors, the install and the genies, were about $10,000. But to hear that on that single door, like that, it's just, I don't know, it just sounds so cheap and weak and stuff. But again, it has never done it on that genie, so I don't understand why it's one and not the other. The other thing I've been noticing, the track has been coming apart, and it's even unbolting itself from the wall. So I've spent some time tightening up all of these bolts, tightening the bolts back into the studs that we have here. And the biggest problem that's been annoying us for about the past month or so, this track has been lubed up, and it's still not working, that it basically just sounds like metal on metal scratching. Yeah, so whatever that metal on metal scratching is, that's a problem. So again, we need to have precision garage doors out here. Need to have them look at that motor, need to have them look at that motor. I don't know if they need to shim or move that around so it's not making that noise, or did the $10,000 doors not come with like the like upgraded rollers and stuff? I know that's an option that I've seen other people do. If you've got like cheap plastic metal ones, maybe you can get like ceramic bearing ones so they make better sound and stuff when they go up and down. But yeah, part ownership or owning a house for part-time, again, even though we don't live in it, yeah, things are bound to go wrong, and we'll see if that's under warranty or not, or something that the homeowner actually has to pay for. Part two that has gone wrong is, you guys already know this, the HRV is not running like it should. I did call, finally, hvacquick.com, where I ordered the Life Breath off of. They gave me a name of a guy who works at Life Breath, because Life Breath will not talk to you. They will not talk to an owner and give them any information, ideas, repair instructions. They will do absolutely nothing for a homeowner. But they do have an option for you to contact as a general contractor, which technically I am the general contractor of this house. when you hit that number, no one ever answers. It goes to a voicemail, no one ever calls you back, and the voicemail's actually been full before, so you can't even leave a message. But I was able to get a hold of a guy because HVACquick.com gave me the guy's name. I talked to him and he says, I have absolutely no idea what's wrong. Great, so the manufacturer themselves are not helpful at all. So the only thing that I can think of what's wrong with this thing, and the problem is it doesn't run like it should. It should run for 10 minutes and it should be off for 50, period, the end. Some people have said, oh, maybe it's something to do with your humidity setting, etc. No, that is not accurate. That is not the case because it's more than 50 degrees Fahrenheit outside. So this thing is not trying to target humidity. Not to mention the humidity setting right now is turned off. So it's like double turned off. So it's got nothing to do with the humidity. This controller, confirmed by LifeBreath, it should just do exactly what it's told when it's told to do it. So it should be on for 10 minutes and off for 50. This thing has been off for more than 50 minutes at a time, and it has run way longer than 10 minutes at a time. So I called HVAC Quick back and said, LifeBreath said it should be working. What's the problem? What should we do? They said, let me send you a brand new controller. Try that, see if it works. If that doesn't work, then maybe something's wrong with the motherboard in the unit, which this is easy to swap out, but we'll have to see how difficult or expensive or what entails of actually pulling the guts out of the unit itself and trying to switch it out. But so far, not a very good representation of LifeBreath for what's going on. So that sucks, but things happen. It's a new unit. But if this was a older unit that wasn't less than a year old, this would be on us to pay. Luckily, even though we bought this a while ago and we've only had it installed for 1 month, HVAC Quick says the unit's under warranty for 1 year of purchase, and we are still under that 1 year. So that new $100 controller, which may be even an upgraded model controller, is coming to us free of charge. So thank you, HVAC Quick, for helping me, unlike LifeBreath, who did not help me. But we'll get that guy installed soon, and hopefully we'll be able to get it up and running the exact way that it should be running. All right, last piece in this video. It's not really a maintenance, but if you guys are unfamiliar with radon gas, radon is something that happens in Ohio because we have basements and we have a high radon in our soil. And basically it's an odorless, tasteless, you can't see it type of gas that basically comes up through the basement. And it especially comes up through an open sump pump hole because it shouldn't technically be coming up through the basement because we have that 6 mil vapor barrier underneath of the concrete here. And the vapor barrier runs up the wall and the concrete is actually pushing the vapor barrier up against the foam. So we technically shouldn't have a lot of radon gas coming up through here, but because we have an open sump pump hole that's got just dirt all surrounding it, yes, that could be bringing up radon gas into the house. Now, one thing that scares me a little bit is they say that radon gas can even attach itself to your well water and come into like when you're taking a shower. So of course there's companies out there that want you to spend more money and try to get some sort of water filtration system. But I think we're okay, at least on the radon, not attaching itself to our well water. And that's because we've got such good filtration that if we can take literally atoms of arsenic out to where we've got arsenic above like 16 or something, which is crazy high. The EPA says that's dangerous or deadly above 10, and we're not even detectable. So we've gone from 16 to at least under 5. Because my water testing company can test down to basically 4.99. So we could be at 4.99 and still have arsenic in our water. But again, they can only test down to basically 5. So I don't know how much arsenic we actually have. But again, if we are able to go down from 16 down to below 5, then I would think that you could also pull radon elements or radon atoms out of our water too with our water filtration so that we don't have to worry about it. But again, that hole being open, we could have a potential radon problem. So Aaron and I hired a radon tester guy. He came over and just put his unit over there. And I guess in 48 hours, we're going to know if we have radon actually in the house. And if we do, then we have to talk about radon mitigation, which a lot of people that I talked about in this video before, it's basically sealing up your sump pump hole 100%, like foaming it and putting like a plastic thing over it, a vapor barrier. And then they put a fan on it and some PVC pipe and they run it up and out your house, and it's constantly like a low volume fan that's basically just sucking it out of your sump pump and blowing it outside. Now, what has me confused is I asked the guy when he came over before he installed that, you know, I've got a whole house air system here. Should this be turned off so we get an accurate number of how bad the house is with radon gas? And he goes, no, just leave it on and running. Well, this isn't running exactly the way that we would have it if we're living in here. And that's gonna skew the numbers a little bit. Not to mention, if we do live in here and we do have radon gas, do we need radon mitigation if we turn that guy up higher so it say runs 20 minutes on and 40 minutes off, etc. And now we're actually sucking the radon out of the house and we're blowing it outside. So questions that need to be answered within the next 48 hours if we even have it or not. I suspect we probably will because everyone in Ohio does. But if anyone knows the answer to that or what you would do for the testing, I mean, the 48 hours has already begun. Do we have to pay for it again? Should I have not listened to the guy and actually shut that off so the house is 100% sealed and we would actually see how bad the number is? But then again, we would have to pay for this is the test again because we would put it back to the 1050 or the 2040. But if it's not working anyway, then it's not working and we don't even know what the true numbers would be anyway. But I will see you guys back in a few short days when Precision comes over, our new controller comes over, and I will give you the radon results when they are done. So hopefully 2 to 3 days and I'll be back and tell you what's up. All right, everybody, it's the next day. Precision door just left, so I still don't have the controller and stuff for and the radon test done yet, but they were able to find all of the issues and we're gonna get it figured out and get it fixed. So first issue, they did say that the motor sound up there is normal. This one probably wasn't doing it because the weight of the door is so much more. So that door is in good function, working order. Again, it just sounds like crap. They went ahead and lubed everything up because you should be doing that once a year. And they went ahead and checked the spring tension up in there and they said that it was good because the door feels lightweight, etc. Unfortunately, on the main door, what we should have done, or what they said they should have done, is we should have come back out and checked your springs. Because obviously over time, a spring is gonna lighten up and get looser. So what ended up probably happening over here was the spring tension loosened up and the motor basically had to take all of the weight then. And it basically completely sheared it off the gear on the inside. And they said that motor should have never been installed on this door anyway, even though I think it would probably still be okay, because if you tighten the springs up more and more, then you can use a less industrial type of motor. But they're like, no, that motor should have never gone on there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna order you a commercial one. We don't have to pay for it, it's still under warranty. So they took the motor off, they're gonna take it back to the shop and look just how badly it was broken on the inside. But we're getting a commercial one. So we're gonna have basically a commercial door, commercial springs, and commercial motor. That one over there, they said should be fine. But even with the spring tension tightened up over here and the door is much lighter weight to push up and down, they still want me to have a commercial. So unfortunately, we're gonna have a different button up there. We're gonna have a button over here because commercial usually has a button over there on the wall. And we're gonna have a different remote now. So we're gonna have 2 remotes. Shouldn't be a problem for Erin because she'll just have that remote then for her spot. My truck can have both remotes and then the Camaro can have its own remote for that motor. So is what it is, but I'll be happy to get a much more industrial metal teeth gear instead of whatever was inside of that one, which I always thought that's a very tiny motor to be lifting that much weight up. But that's the game plan that they're gonna do. They don't have one in stock, so they had to order it. So we're still gonna have to use this manually for some time. And then as for that scratching that they heard, basically up there, there was a little cotter pin. And for whatever reason, that cotter pin was moving itself over to the side and it was scratching the back side of the metal here. And I couldn't see that because I'm standing in the middle of the door trying to open and close it. And I thought it was the rollers and it wasn't. It was just a stupid cotter pin scratching up the back side of the thing. So literally all they had to do was rotate it a little bit and kind of bend it out of the way. So we got all 3 problems fixed. except for that noise. We'll still be hearing that noise, but that's what they found out. That's what they did for me, and thankfully I do not have to pay for it. So again, I'm going to be back in a few days. I'll let you guys know what the radon test shows and when the HRV controller shows up. Funny, I was working in the house yesterday and the HRV controller seemed to be doing what it's supposed to do. It seems to be turning on every hour and running for about 10 minutes, but I don't know. I know I have heard it run longer and not turn on at all, so it still may be a problem, but we're gonna figure that one out. But I'm gonna spend the rest of the day. We're gonna do some siding back here, down below this window, down up there. And then I guess if I get those OSB boards back out and set something up on the deck, I can even start down there too and start coming this way. But I'll probably stop before I get to this overhang here and this overhang here until I figure out actually how I want to do all of that up in there and where I want those boards to go. But I'm just gonna spend some time out here today. And again, I'll see you guys back in a few days when I let you know all of the results and see if we can get that HRV up and running. All right, everybody, test results are in. I'm just gonna do this now, actually at one of my work locations. The test results just came in, and basically I don't feel like doing this at like 3 in the morning because I decided to work a mid shift today. So we've got 48 points over 48 hours that we have numbers, and it looks like the results are not good. I mean, why would Aaron and I ever catch a break on anything? But I knew, again, being in Ohio and having a basement, we were gonna have high radon numbers. So it looks like the absolute lowest that we got was a 6.3 picocurie. I guess that's what they're measured in. So the lowest was a 6.3 picocurie, and the highest was a 10.8 picocurie. The government basically says anything over a 2 is basically deadly. And then they list a chart here and says like how many cigarettes that is, how many people can end up getting lung cancer. So for example, a 4 picocurie, about 62 people could get lung cancer, and that's per 1,000 smokers over a lifetime. So however many cigarettes that is, I don't know, but it basically says anywhere over a 2, you need to stop smoking and fix your home. So I don't know how 100% those numbers are again, because I don't know if the HRV was running 100%. Again, it's still set to that 10 minutes on, 50 minutes off, and the fan speed was only set to a 2. So technically speaking, if the fan speed went all the way up to a 5 and we went to like a 20 on, 40 off, then those numbers technically should get lower because we're blasting more out of the house and we're bringing in more fresh air and exchanging that air per hour. So that should get the numbers down. But the average for those 48 though was 9.1 picocuries. So I do not think there's any way for us to have the HRV basically get us under a 2. So we have to basically now think about how we're going to mitigate the radon in the house. And like I said, that's usually sealing up the sump pump hole, putting some PVC pipe on there with a fan that I think runs 24/7. So we're not going to be sucking the air out of the house and creating a vacuum, because the pipe is only going to go into the sump pump hole and it's going to be 100% completely sealed. So if anything, it's just going to be sucking the radon out of the French drain and out of our clean out and then blowing it back outside. So the French drain will have like basically a constant vacuum on it, I guess, if it was completely sealed and underground. But again, I'm not 100% sure how that will work until we talk to somebody. But that means we're going to have to basically core drill again through the house or the basement, unless again we switch to the 20/40 setting, we ramp the speed all the way up to a 5, and then we have them come out again. But I just can't imagine that the number's going to get that low from a 9.1. The only caveat that I will say on that test is I think it did rain for an hour or 2 each day at nighttime at some point. So the rain may kind of loosen up the soil as it's going through the French drain. That may increase the radon dilution, I guess, or breaking it off of the soil as the rain's coming on down through. So that may have had the numbers a little bit higher, as opposed to if we were to have done this test in the middle of winter when like the first, 38 inches or 32 inches of the ground is completely frozen solid and there is no rain. But yeah, I just don't know how accurate those numbers are going to be. But I do know that the numbers are dangerous and they are not safe for Aaron and I to be living in a house with a radon score of that high. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. We'll get that HRV controller at a later date. I want to wrap this up here to get this information out to you guys so somebody can give me some insight on what I should do. The test was only $140, so I don't mind doing it again. And I could ramp up the test to the 2040 and increase the fan speed all the way to a 5. So that way, when the 20 minutes that it is on, it is just sucking the crap out of the inside air and blowing it outside and getting rid of it. So let me know what you guys think down below though. Let me know if you've got any radon stories or tests that you guys have done and what your mitigation results are, if you have done it before and after. And we'll be back in another video with some more house siding and stuff like that, and hopefully getting the house painted this week. So again, comment down below, let me know what you guys think. We'll see you guys next time on the next video. Bye.